Yo, what up, guys? So this is gonna be like a self-reflection video. It's just me talking to you guys, just real talk. Whoever's tuning in, I hope this helps. Because I know I need it. Sometimes I know I need that person to tell me, and this is like so I can look back, and also for you guys, so you guys can get something out of it. Whenever you're struggling with loneliness, whenever you're struggling with feeling like you're you're missing something, you're missing somebody. This video is for you guys, and it's also for me. So basically, I woke up with a really grateful attitude. I woke up and I said thank you. I said thank you for waking up, and I also said thank you to my other self also. Like I was like, thank you to me, and then thank you to you too, right? I was like to my higher self, and the way I see my higher self is basically just like God. It's also just my higher connection to the divine. It's just my connection to the divine, right? And as um, and it's just like a telepathic communication, right? It's just as I'm waking up, I'm getting these thoughts in my head that aren't really produced from my brain. They're more so like connections and like messages that I'm more so listening to. I'm listening rather than thinking, right? And I've had this kind of thing before, this kind of communication before. I remember one time I was stressing about some situation because I was really like 2 years ago. I was going through like a pretty hard time with this girl I was dating. I was trying to figure things out, and I was feeling really down. I was having a lot of negative thoughts. I was I was just not in a good place. And I remember one time, one of those days, as I was waking up, I could feel myself falling. I could feel myself falling into my body, and as I was falling, I could hear myself telling me that everything was gonna be fine, to not be stressing, that life is good, and that I'm gonna get out of this rut, right? I'm gonna get out of this hole, and and I realize now it's like I'm never alone. I'm never alone, and I want you guys to know that you're not alone either. Even by being by yourself, I think that's the best thing ever because you have this connection to something that's a lot higher. And if you think about it, we all gone through a lot of shit. We all gone through a lot of hard times. We've suffered a lot, and I want you guys to think of it like there's the one who has gone through so much shit, and then there's the one that knows that he has gone through so much shit, right? Because the one that knows is the one that is of higher, um, is just of a higher in a higher place, right? If you're able to observe your suffering, if you're able to observe what you've gone through, you can actually take meaning out of that. You can actually create something out of that, and you don't allow yourself to be led by this suffering, right? And a lot of the times we feel, most of the time we suffer is because we don't realize that we have this connection, that we are this being that can just create things out of our suffering, that can create things just from a higher place of mind. And I know I remember telling one of my friends like when he was down, I was like, man, you gotta realize he was stressing about some girl. And I was like, you have to realize like you have to care for yourself. You can't be stressing about these girls, about these situations, because in the end the only thing you have is yourself, and that's the best thing that you can ever tell anybody. I feel like you can, and the best realizations that anybody can have is because if you can stick to and make friends with your own person, and make it your best friend rather than your worst enemy, you can be living a happy life, one of the happiest. You can be the happiest man on earth. Why? Because your happiness isn't dictated by how people see you. It's not dictated by the status that you have. It's not dictated even by the name that is associated with your being. It's just with being. And I found that as the days go by, I'm falling in love with myself even more and more and more, and I'm just doing things that I used to do as a kid, and I feel like a kid again, and I feel happy again, and everybody has that right. Everybody has that right to feel good. Everybody has that right to feel like a kid. Everybody has the right to be childish. Everybody has the right to feel happy, to be loved, to feel like they're a part of something higher. Everybody has it, and you do too. You have to realize that too, and and as you do this, as you get closer to yourself, as you connect with yourself, as you just look for this person, for this higher person, if you look for yourself, you're going to find him. You're going to find that person. And for me, it's been through dreams where that my higher self talks to me, or it's even in videos when my higher self is talking. It is that I am a vehicle and the divine is the driver, right? I am the vehicle, my body is the vehicle, my mind is the vehicle, but the divine is the actual essence of what is going on. The divine is what I'm tapping into and what I'm allowing to go through me. And if you're able to allow yourself to surrender to this power, to surrender to this being, you become more at peace. You become more in control. It's crazy because surrender, usually for many people, is like you lose control. But no, the more you surrender, the more control you gain back. Why? Because you're letting go of the things you don't need to control. You're letting go of the things that you don't have to deal with. And you're tuning into things that actually matter, and that is yourself. It is your being. It is your highest self. And you're never lonely. You'll never be alone. And I think loneliness is just a lie. Loneliness is a lie that you tell yourself when you're turning your back to your own self, right? I think that's just something you need to think about. And I feel like I am just this like lone wolf in a way, this lone man, but I'm not actually, because my power comes from myself. You know, it's not that I feel like I'm better than anybody else. It's just that I feel like I'm better than myself. And that's where I get my power from. That's where I get my energy from. That's where I get my drive from. That's where I'm able to wake up and be grateful just automatically without thinking about it. It's not an effort that I even have to make. It just happens. I just wake up and I say thank you. And it's not something I think about, right? If you can get to that point, you know you're going somewhere. You know you're in the right place. If you can do and feel good without even trying, without even having to think about it. And that is the machine. That is the machine that you can become. And it is a divine machine because you become a vehicle. Like I said, you become that divine vehicle. And yeah, like once you surrender to this, once you start um, looking for yourself, stop looking outward but look inwards. You're going to create that person. You're going to become that person, and you're going to create a new world for yourself. And yeah, that's currently how I feel, man. Like everything, it seems like is led by this energy. Everything is led by by this higher being, and it has its greatest intentions in mind. You just need to be able to accept them, to accept life, and to let go. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that helps. All right, stay lucid, stay living. All right, peace.